He was a great American success story, a street kid who fought his way out of poverty to astounding fame and fortune.
Hi, I'm Mike Tyson, heavyweight champ of the world. Let's talk boxing.
Mike Tyson, in his prime, where he was just storming the gates, I put that Mike Tyson up against anybody who ever lived.
Because at this particular point, I was throwing, what can I say, hydrogen bombs. And at any moment, man, every punch was with murderous intention.
A fucking destroyer, man. Where every fight was an execution.
Tyson finish this? I think so.
You're the best fighter in the world. Like, what could he possibly be afraid of then, too?
Nothing.
Right?
To make it perfect. It's good, it's not perfect.
Everybody don't get up every morning and run. Everybody don't go to the gym every morning.
In my opinion, the mind and emotions about 75% of boxing.
Mike Tyson's opponents come in with great psychological disadvantage.
Fear was a lot of Tyson's weapon. The fighters came in almost frozen.
The other guy across the ring, what were you thinking? I mean, because he was thinking, oh, that's my ass.
This guy is the strongest, most intimidating fighter since Sonny Liston.
I hope he's not hurt.
And he was so fucking fast.
I won titles, I had everything in the world, but I still had that darkness in me.
Pet tigers, bro. He wrestled with them. One of the greatest fighters the world's ever seen. There's very few people that were ever like him.
Mike Tyson grew up in the tough Brownsville neighborhood of Brooklyn, New York. His early years were shaped by the streets. Raised in poverty, he faced a challenging childhood marked by violence, bullying, and crime.
2178 was my building. This was my apartment right here.
Abandoned by his father, he was living alone with his mother, brother, and sister.
I never went to school because I got bullied all the time. That's why I was skipping school to avoid the bullies.
I saw guys on the corner, just like everybody. I saw them on the corner, and I realized on the corner, nobody fucked with those guys. So I wanted to be a street guy.
Mike began fighting people in the streets as the guys on the corner did.
Everybody would bring other kids from different neighborhoods around to fight me for money. That's the only thing I thought I could do. And then I got locked up, became a criminal. I'm knocking people out, taking their money.
My life sucked as a kid. I was just bullied. I hate my childhood life.
My whole life has been violent, and I'm not a violent person.
As a 13-year-old, Mike was arrested 38 times and finally sent to try-on school for boys.
I remember the day when Mike came, yes. I remember the first time laying eyes on him. And he found out that I was an ex-fighter. And he asked one of the staff, how can I meet Stuart? I banged on his door to intimidate him. I said, so you want to meet me? What the hell do you want? He said, I want to be a fighter.
He started teaching me how to box.
Recognizing his potential, Stuart introduced Tyson to legendary trainer Cus D'Amato.
I said, guess what he said about you, punk? He says, you continue down the line you're on now, you become the heavyweight champion of the world. And he hugged me. Looking. He said, what's this? I said, this is the house. Cus House? I'm going to stay here if you behave and do what you're supposed to. You will live here with me and Cus.
D'Amato took Tyson under his wing, providing not only boxing training, but also a stable home environment, becoming a father figure to him.
D'Amato continues to be one of the foremost fight managers in the business. His seasoned eye for talent has spotted a fresh, up-and-coming young heavyweight named Mike Tyson.
Cus, who never married or had children, adopted Michael, took him into his home.
It's like a father and son relationship. You know, even though he is my manager and trainer, sometimes I forget that because of the way we are.
I can say honestly, I have a very deep affection for him, I do. To me, he's my boy, he's with me. And he gives me the motivation. I will stay alive, and I will watch him become a success. Because I will not leave until that happens.
I used to look at it, think about this young kid from Brooklyn, New York, comes to Cus D'Amato. All of a sudden, I have a low self-esteem. This guy gives me this big fucking ego. He used to take me to a hypnotist. He was a hypnotist as well, yeah. And I used to go into the hypnotist motions.
Wow, so they're putting you under and just teaching you that mindset.
Yeah.
Whoa. Did he give you any advice on how to shut it off?
No.
You're a little bit too square.
My mentor, Cus D'Amato, his objective was to think of nothing. You're nothing, nothing's nothing but the objective, the job, and that was his psychological warfare.
That's it. See, ain't no way he's going to hit you then, right?
Keep the head down when you come up with the eights. Keep your head down. You can make it perfect. It's good, but it's not perfect.
Did you ever stop and think, like, man, how lucky am I that I ran into that man?
No. He said he summons me.
He summoned you.
He said it was meant for me to meet this guy.
His speeches that he would talk about fear. About fear can be like a fire, it can cook your food, or it can burn your house down.
Fear is a very important thing in boxing, because all fighters are afraid. Fear is like fire. If you let it get out of control, it will destroy you and everything around you. You manage to control it, you can make it work for you. With me, the guy comes to me with a spark. I fan the spark until it becomes a flame. I feed the flame until it becomes a fire. Then I feed the fire until it becomes a roaring blaze.
Did you ever have neck problems? Like, you need surgery?
Yeah, I had surgery on my neck. You remember when I used to do those rolls on my head? So I would do them for 3 minutes, then stop a minute, do them for 3 minutes. So I do it for 5 or 6 rounds, 8 rounds.
That gave you a crazy fucking neck, though. Your neck used to start at your temples and just go straight down.
You need for fighting, you need a grin.
Your mind is not on your way. There's something distracting you.
Greatness is when you make your delusions your reality. Nothing's impossible for somebody who's going to try. If you're going to try, it's capable of getting done.
Because in my opinion, the mind and emotions are about 75% of boxing. Tyson has a very hard, terrific punch in either hand.
He would try to knock out anybody, no matter who it was. Mike used to knock out somebody every day of the week.
And has the most important part, the will to win.
Oh, it's a monster, man. Oh, man.
Everybody don't get up every morning and run. Everybody don't go to the gym every morning.
Mike Tyson competed in the Junior Olympics at 15 and 16 years old. He won a gold medal in both.
Tell me what you're going to do tomorrow.
I'm going to go in there, I'm going to jab to the head, then I'm going to throw eights to the body, and then I'm going to move after I hit. I'm punching the body.
What are you going to do when you get inside?
I'm going to open up like a son of a bitch.
Tyson, 8-second knockout, your first round.
2 years later, Mike had his first professional fight against Hector Mercedes.
Mike Tyson. He hit with such vicious and evil intent. It was amazing.
Well, we didn't get much strength, Singleton, in all sorts of trouble. This isn't going to go too long.
He had an amazing story, though, man. And how Customato had hypnotized him.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Because
Tyson finished this, I think so.
That's what people need to understand, like who he was. He was hyper aggressive and he did terrible things and he was violent. Think of how this kid grew up. Taken in by this one guy, the first time in his life where anything is positive and it's all about fighting and being a destroyer, and he gets hypnotized by this guy to be a destroyer.
I'm the master of the pinpoint. My shots are so accurate and so precise. I just can't help it who you are. You have to go down because there's a law when Mike Tyson hits you.
And he's a physical specimen. There's some people that are just built perfect for certain things.
And he was built to be that.
He was built perfect for bobbing and weaving and getting in tight.
I refuse to be hurt, knocked down, and knocked out. I can't lose. I refuse to lose.
And he was so fucking fast.
If there is a way to beat Mike Tyson, how do you do it? I don't.
357 Magnum.
I'm starting to think.
Good chance. I feel I am the best fighter in the world right now.
The Mike Tyson that beat Marvis Frazier. You ever watch that fight?
Yeah.
That's my favorite Mike Tyson fight. Because that was Mike Tyson before he won the title. It was ABC Wide World of Sports.
Mike Tyson entering as the Warrior.
And Joe Frazier had been talking shit about Tyson, that he was in his prime, he'd beat Tyson. And so he had his son fight Tyson. And it was an execution.
The characteristic no socks,
No road look.
It was an execution.
Is that the one in Atlantic City where it lasted 1 round?
1 round. This is Tyson in his prime, where he was fucking terrifying. He was so fast, and he was just coming at you. And he was young. He was 20 years old at the time. He couldn't be stopped.
Uppercut, and Marvis is hurt.
November 4th, 1985, at the age of 77, the legendary boxing trainer Cus D'Amato passed away.
Just met me. I'm a little kid. He said, you're gonna be the world champ.
It's interesting, Mike. You get emotional when you talk about Cus. You okay?
Yeah, how could I ever do an interview about him? Like, I start crying. How did this guy know? I didn't know I was the one.
Well, you were a specimen.
Things more than that to be a fighter.
Do you miss him to this day? Do you think, Mike, that if he had lived, that your life would have been different?
Oh, yeah.
What would be one thing you always wish you told him but never got a chance to tell him?
I would say, they call me the greatest.
What moment in your life do you wish he was here to witness?
First title. Me and my first title fight.
This will be the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the world.
When I come out, I have supreme confidence. I'm scared to death. I'm totally afraid. I'm afraid of everything. I'm afraid of losing. I'm afraid of being humiliated. But as closer I get to the ring, I'm more confident. Once I'm in the ring, I'm a god. No one could beat me.
This is what Cus D'Amato and Jimmy Jacobs trained this man for. Very well trained by this man, Kevin Rooney.
He is the challenger, Mike Tyson.
Can I tell you to break this stuff, punches? That's it, all right, let's get it on, come on.
Now let's watch how quick Tyson will jump on Trevor Berbick. His whole life has been for this night. He's one of the great champions. Let's see how long his reign lasts. In front of him, this is a poor fight. Oh, the right hand gets an idea that Mike is. Oh, right hand. See this? With the left hand. Look at this combination. This may not go very long because he's got tremendous confidence now. Championship of the world. And Mike Tyson. Tyson goes to work right away. And he gets Trevor in trouble. Time. Bangs the pound. Tyson catches him with the right left hook. And he was down. And he's counted out. It'll be scored as a knockout. We've got a brand new heavyweight champion of the world, Mike Tyson.
At just 20 years old, Mike Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion in history. Just 4 months later, on March 7th, 1987, Tyson stepped into the ring again, this time with his sights set on unifying the heavyweight division. His opponent, James Bone Crusher Smith, held the WBA title.
The Bone Crusher. Any problems he presents to you?
Well, every man's a problem. You know, every man, no one should be taken lightly. But this is the fight where, as you know, I'm in great shape and I'm ready to fight. And I plan to do my best and I plan a successful outcome.
But Tyson was unstoppable. Over 12 brutal rounds, he dismantled Smith and added the WBA belt to his growing collection.
For Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson!
So he no longer holds the IBF.
8 months after winning his first title, he faced Tony Tucker for the IBF heavyweight title. In a fight that went the distance, the final bell rang, and Tyson was declared the winner by unanimous decision, becoming the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world.
Unanimous decision and undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Iron Mike Tyson.
Do you feel now that you're the undisputed champion? That really is more meaningful than the other championships in terms of history.
I knew I was the youngest heavyweight champion when I beat Berger. Thank you very much.
He's the youngest heavyweight world champion ever, and with his iron punch, he knocked his name right into boxing history. His name is Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson was everywhere. Magazines, commercials, and even video games featured his face.
Mike Tyson's Punch-Out from Nintendo.
Television, newspapers, magazines. How do you handle that at 20 years old?
Well, you know, I dislike it a great deal. But it comes with the business.
What Mike had done was revitalize the entire country's image of the heavyweight division.
Tyson's fierce reputation extended far beyond the ring. People worldwide were captivated by Iron Mike, the ultimate symbol of power and fearlessness. With lucrative endorsement deals and unmatched fame, Tyson became not just a champion, but a cultural phenomenon.
헤비급 챔피언 마이크 타이슨의来日3日目の予想外.
It's scary. I don't mind being the champ of the world and getting the attention and getting America, but you know, this is a whole different dimension.
You were not just an incredibly famous guy, you were the baddest man on the planet. So there was like an aura to you everywhere you went. People wanted to see you.
Mike had the perfect name, he had the perfect look, he had the perfect body, he had the perfect image, and he came at the perfect time.
What was that like to be the youngest heavyweight champion? Did you get to enjoy it, or was it just pressure, leeches, trust problems, betrayal, that everything that came with money and success after that?
Yeah, but I thought that's what it was.
Enter Don King. Mike Tyson's career skyrocketed with the guidance of promoter Don King.
Don King had helped me through a great deal of pressure when I was going through the stress. Joe King didn't care to put two things in. No one else can help, so no one can tell me anything bad about Don King.
However, as Tyson's fame grew, so did suspicions of King's loyalty. King allegedly took millions from Tyson, using Tyson's success to fuel his own fortune.
Then I got caught up with this other piece of Don King, who's just a wretched, slimy, reptilian mother. He's just a bad man. He doesn't know how to love anybody.
Do you think he ever, as people said about others, robbed from you?
I don't believe he ever robbed from me.
Don King is facing a grand jury investigation, and there are accusations that he mishandled Mike Tyson's money.
Oh, just let me see, only in America.
The trajectory of Mike Tyson's career changed after meeting Don King. But for now, everything looked normal to Mike.
How many people could handle that, too? I mean, the money, the fame, at that age, you're the champion, the baddest man alive.
For the home spike, Mike was going with 3 girls, just seemed to be semi-serious about 3 women. This was Miss America, Robin, and a very gorgeous model.
It's October 2nd, 1980. Ali fights Larry Holmes.
He might explode at any time, too.
Muhammad Ali fails to answer the bell.
The next morning, Cuss is on the phone with Muhammad Ali. Cuss is calling Larry Holmes so many bad. How do you let that bum hit on you, champ? I'm on the phone, I'm crying. But I said, when I get big, I'm gonna get him for you. I'm gonna revenge you. I'm gonna restore your honor. And then January 22nd, I'm fighting him. And then Ali comes into the ring and says, get him for me.
Inside. There's the right. You should be hanging. Nail on the right hand, the left hand. He's gonna hang on. Or he'll stop the fight. Down he goes. Oh, he's hurt. It's all over.
Mike Tyson would marry Robin Givens following the fight. In the media, it was portrayed as a fairy tale romance. But behind all the glamour, their marriage was fraught with tension. Media coverage of their relationship intensified as reports of domestic strife emerged almost immediately.
He hit me on the side of the head. And I went from one corner of the wall, bounced off that corner of the wall to another corner, and then I was out.
I got into a great deal of fights, and then it was just pretty ugly. When I was a young kid, I know nothing about any kind of relationship with women. Am I amongst them? Am I a brutalizer? Do I hate women? No way. I know right from wrong, but I just never practiced it. I had no reason to practice. Everybody told me everything I did was right.
Furthermore, it was fueled by a notorious 1988 interview with Barbara Walters, where Givens described her marriage as torture and alluded to Tyson's volatile behavior.
Michael is a manic depressive. He is. I mean, that's just a fact. I can't imagine that anyone would live with Mike Tyson. He gets out of control. He shakes, he pushes, he swings.
I can't believe Robin Givens was saying those lies about me right on worldwide television.
For the first time, I can understand abused women.
And I was like flabbergasted. But when I look back at it now, I can't believe I sat there and didn't say anything.
And just recently, I've become afraid. I mean, very, very much afraid.
Robin, inquiring minds want to know, how does a woman who went to Sarah Lawrence and Harvard Medical School wind up falling in love with a guy who's a graduate of the School of Hard Knocks?
God, I want to know too. There's something, we have a lot in common, traditional families, and we just sort of love each other. Hopefully I'll give him some sort of peace of mind, and that'll enable him to perfect this art.
He is here only to do a job, and Larry Merchant, precisely how difficult is Tony Tubbs likely to make that job for him?
Jim, I'd like to say that he has a slim chance of winning, but that would be anatomically inaccurate. It's a fat chance that he might win.
The gladiator look, no robe, no towels, no socks, just the black trunks, the boots, and the 10-ounce Everlast gloves. Unbeaten in 33 fights, with 29 knockouts.
Mike Tyson hurt you, no question about it. He's in there to finish you off.
Tubbs is hurt. Tubbs is hurt badly.
The fight is over.
2 days after the fight, Jim Jacobs unfortunately passed away. Jacobs was a key figure in Tyson's life, offering guidance and stability.
I love Jacobs. He was a beautiful man.
His sudden death left Tyson feeling lost and vulnerable, with a huge gap in his support system.
Jim was the protector in that world. And a lot of people knew that Michael didn't have a relationship with Bill, so he was pretty much up for grabs. It was like open season. Who's going to get him?
Mike had lost his second surrogate father.
Now in the picture were a wife, a mother-in-law, promoter, and advisor.
Without Jacobs, and Mike lacking a personal relationship with his other manager, Bill Caton, Tyson was easy to influence, and people like promoter Don King quickly stepped in.
Undefeated world heavyweight champion Mike Tyson defends his crown against another undefeated heavyweight with a claim to the title, Michael Spinks.
Spinks' manager tried to throw off Mike before the fight.
Butch Lewis, the manager of Michael Spinks, who went wild after he discovered that Mike Tyson had his hands taped.
I honestly don't know why you'd want to make Mike Tyson mad, or madder than he normally is before a fight.
It is rumored that Tyson got so mad, he started punching holes in the wall in anger.
And he's punching, standing there. He and Rooney's putting something on. He's punching holes in the wall. I'm like to myself, oh no. This guy's getting ready to fight my guy, my little guy. And he's punching holes in the wall before he goes out to fight. Oh, no.
The period of inactivity, 97 days.
People love that guy because that guy gave them a drug, and that drug was excitement. Like you turn on the TV, like, oh shit, here we go. Michael Spinks, Mike Tyson, here we go.
I both his touch gloves.
It's a little tight. His legs are not as loose as they don't.
That's what people wanted. They wanted that excitement. They knew some crazy shit was about to go down. Unpredictable.
The uppercut. Body shot. There it goes. Mike Spinks for the first time.
You brought people this chaotic moment. You slapped down the money in the pay-per-view. You got out your popcorn and you waited for the rush.
Mike Spinks in. Leads to the right hand. There he goes. It's all over. Mike Tyson has won it. Spinks almost fell back from one of the fastest knockouts in heavyweight history.
We just both grew up around cuss. We're like brothers. It's not business to me, which would mean him. I guess we're more friends than just, you know, boxer trainers.
In 1988, after Mike Tyson's victory over Michael Spinks, he made the surprising decision to fire his trainer, Kevin Rooney. Rooney had been a key part of Tyson's team, taught by Tyson's mentor Custy Amato. However, with the death of Tyson's co-manager Jim Jacobs earlier in the year, and with Don King becoming more influential in Tyson's life, tensions grew. Some say that Don King encouraged Tyson to separate from the original team members so he could have more control over him.
I'm not happy that Don King has, made him say that Bill Caton and Kevin Rooney, they only want me because of the money. Because that's all Don King wants. Don King wants control of the heavyweight division, and that's all he wants.
Do you think this could be the beginning of the end?
I really don't know.
Tyson was arrested after breaking his hand in a street brawl with Mitch Green.
In the next few months, Tyson's life spiraled out of control.
And I didn't see his punch coming. And he did not knock me down or nothing. I saw him do like this and run.
Tyson in the news again. This time he was knocked out. Reportedly an attempted suicide after another fight with his wife. Tyson attacked an NBC News crew which caught him on an early morning run.
Hey, Mike.
What do you want? Tyson diagnosed as manic depressive. Tyson's wife and mother-in-law say he must have treatment. Others say that they're trying to control his life.
Robin Givens filed for divorce from Mike Tyson on October 7, 1988, just 8 months after their marriage. The tumultuous relationship had been widely covered by the media, and it was far from over.
Actress Robin Givens claimed she wanted no money from her estranged husband, Mike Tyson. Yesterday, she delivered a $125 million right jab in the form of a libel suit. The libel suit stems from a November 7th article in the New York Post. In addition to the slime of the slime quote, she says Givens stole from him and tried to turn him into an imbecile. Legal papers filed by Givens' attorneys say those statements were damaging to her reputation and career.
This lawsuit is another offensive maneuver and a vicious maneuver, in my opinion. What Mike said in that article, he said because he believed it to be true.
His tumultuous relationship with Robin, combined with the loss of Cuss and Jim Jacobs, the firing of Kevin Rooney, and the entrance of Don King, all led up to what happened next. Mike had a few fights for which he barely trained, yet he still achieved successful outcomes.
Cannot be saved by the bell. Tyson, if he doesn't answer it, Richard Steele.
And then it led basically to the Buster Douglas fight, which shouldn't have been a hard fight, and so I didn't take Buster seriously.
Disputed heavyweight champion Mike Tyson defends his title against James Buster Douglas.
Matter of fact, I was training and my sparring partners dropped me.
The Japanese official said, "How long will you be in Tokyo, sir?" And he said, "I don't know, a round or two."
I never look at anybody fight, because I'm confident no one can beat me, and I don't have to watch them fight.
They thought that Buster Douglas was, just a clown, a tomato can.
We assume that it becomes increasingly difficult for Mike Tyson to prepare for boxing matches that most of us see as non-competitive. Larry, what are we about to see? Another 90-second annihilation of an ill-prepared opponent?
Well, in the important game of expectations, this fight is over before it begins or soon thereafter.
Buster Douglas was an enormous dark horse, with most sportsbooks listing him as a 42-1 underdog.
Politics. Shock most of the world if he could make it into the middle rounds. He's a conventional fighter who likes to work behind.
Buster Douglas shocked the world by outboxing and outmaneuvering Mike Tyson from the start.
Be smart, work your way in. Another good right.
However, in the 8th round, Tyson knocked Douglas down.
Against the rope.
And there's a right hand uppercut and down goes Douglas. Loosey-goosey. Still wobbly. Let's see what Mike can do to finish. The bell ends to save Buster Douglas at the end of round 8.
In the 10th round, the impossible happened.
It's over. It's over.
Mike Tyson has been knocked out.
We all refer back to the Buster Douglas fight, but you don't view that as your worst fight at all.
That's one of my best.
Let me tell you something that's really interesting. When I lost my fight to Buster Douglas, I started getting paid more because now was a chance that I could be beaten. I was getting paid more money because people couldn't bet on me.
Yeah.
So there's a possibility you get beat. Hey, people could bet on you now.
Let's go ahead and call it the biggest upset in the history of heavyweight championship fights. Say it now, gentlemen. James Buster Douglas, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world.
Look, when you reach your status at young age, and being 20 years old being champion, you're really too young.
You have to understand this. Boxing's like this game of life. I got beaten by Buster, right? I suppose I let that discourage me. Suppose I said, wow, he beat me, I ain't shit. I would never do that. You think the great Mike Tyson would let something small like that discourage him? Getting beaten? Life is about coming back.
And come back he did. His next 4 fights, positioning himself to reclaim his titles.
By this time, Stewart's still wobbly from the first knockdown.
But then, an unexpected event brought everything to a halt.
Oh, I'm in a dream day after day. Beautiful women, such an array. Yeah, definitely, that sounds better.
Today in Indianapolis, Tyson was indicted by a special grand jury on charges that he allegedly raped an 18-year-old beauty pageant contestant back in July.
The grand jury that needed only 2 hours of deliberations to indict Mike Tyson heard his testimony 2 weeks ago, and the testimony of the alleged victim.
Tyson intended to have sexual relations with her. When she refused his advances, Tyson had forced non-consensual sex with the victim.
Shortly after his court appearance, Tyson faced the media, again maintaining his innocence, professing bewilderment.
And I love women, you know what I mean? My mother's a woman, I respect them as well. Like I said before, knows what happened in the room. I know what happened, and I know I'm innocent.
Guilty. That is the decision from 9 men and 3 women in Indianapolis in the rape trial of boxer Mike Tyson. They reached the verdict less than an hour ago.
Inside of the court, the jury filed back in, and the Judge Gifford, read off each count guilty. Again, Mike Tyson guilty tonight on all 3 counts against him.
44 days after his conviction, Tyson was sentenced to 6 years in prison. Being frisked and then let off in handcuffs with a smile on his face were difficult pictures to digest.
If he had come to me any time before or gone to his lawyers or to anyone and said, I was wrong. You know, the first step to any recovery is admitting that you have the problem. I admit that I have a problem and I need help. Get me some help. I wouldn't have gone through this trial.
The truth of the matter of what happened that night then is what?
That she was not raped.
Saw it coming, I must tell you, when he left Kevin and Steve and me to get involved with Don King. The handwriting was on the wall.
I blame King. You know, I go after King any chance I get. You know, I seem to be the only person doing anything about it, saying anything.
This kind of a case is every person in this room's nightmare. There are no witnesses. You fall into the hands of an attorney that you trust who does not know what he's doing. And if you'll look in the book, you find out that the jury guessed at 2 out of the 3 counts against Mike Tyson. Anybody in this room, including Mike Tyson, no matter what they've done, deserves a fair trial. And he didn't get one.
I had the best 3 years of my life in prison.
Wow. That's interesting for you to say that, bro, because you had millions.
That don't mean nothing when you don't have your peace, your stability, and your balance. You don't give a fuck, we don't even want it. God punish you by giving you everything you want. See if you can handle it.
See all your fights and stuff? All your knockouts is spectacular. Know what that means? You're favored by God. When you're favored by God, you're also favored by the devil. Just remember, God loves you, so does he. He's after you too. It's a war.
The former heavyweight boxing champion Mike Tyson has spent his last night in jail for a rape conviction 3 years ago.
By 6:10, surrounded by his entourage, almost as if he seemed to be entering the ring, Tyson was leaving the prison, a free man for the first time in 3 years.
You know, in the last 3 years, I had the chance to reflect on my life and develop my mind, and I will continue my journey to making myself a better person. There's been a lot of speculation about my plan, and here they are. I will fight again.
We are moments away from the much-anticipated return of the former undisputed heavyweight champion, Tyson versus McNeely. Our main event is next.
When he came out of prison, dude, he was prison jacked. That was like maybe the scariest Tyson ever. Like they finally released him. That was the most terrifying looking Tyson ever. He just looked like he was made out of steel. And I'll never forget the stare down. This is Tyson's first fight. Like, look, see Peter McNeely's kind of looking down, and you look over at Tyson. Look at his eyes following.
Yeah, look at that.
That is fucking terrifying.
Clean fight. Any questions from McNeely's corner? Any questions from Mr. Tyson's corner? Let's get it on.
But with elusiveness, something he got away from prior to prison. Cus D'Amato once told him your greatest asset can become your greatest weakness. The past few months, and here we go. And McNeely, as advertised, comes right at Mike Tyson. Down goes McNeely. Seconds into the fight. Mills Lane had stopped that nonsense because it was starting to butt heads. Oh. Tyson with a left hook, a right uppercut. Down goes McNeely again.
After being released from prison, Mike Tyson returned to the public eye filled with anger and frustration.
When I came out of prison, I felt so surreal. I just had a different mind frame. I was scared of everybody. That's really what I felt like when I came out of prison. I felt like everyone was against me.
Put your mother in a straight jacket, you punk-ass white boy.
I was gonna rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been.
I don't know anything about that. I don't know nothing about numbers. I just know what I can do. How about kill this mother?
You got man enough to with me. You can't last 2 minutes in my world, bitch.
Well, it. It's a fight, so whatever happens, happens.
Scared of the real man. I'll you till you love me.
My style is impetuous, my defense is impregnable, and I'm just ferocious. I want your heart, I want to eat his children. Praise be to Allah.
Mike, why do you have to talk like that?
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. Do you have a problem? Turn off your station.
You know what? I think we'll end the discussion right now. Have a nice fight, Mike.
Off.
Tyson took his rage with him to the ring and won his next 4 fights on knockout.
Pivot, swing around on your opponent's side.
He said he's not looking for the Tyson who fought McNeely and Mathis. Here's a combination uppercut by Tyson. Tyson laying it on, carrying it on. Down goes Bruno.
Yeah, nice long rest. Next up, Evander Holyfield. Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield's second fight is immortalized in boxing history. Not for technical brilliance, but for another infamous moment that shocked the world. 7 months earlier, they met in the ring for the first time. Here Evander Holyfield came out on top. Fans were eager to see if Tyson would redeem himself, and many speculated that his frustration and desire for revenge could add intensity to the fight.
Mike Tyson to his hand. Mike Tyson predicting a sensational victory. The first fight is almost palpable. Head movement from Tyson. He looks over to Mills Lane. It's a cut around the right eye of Mike Tyson.
Apparently, Holyfield kept headbutting him over and over again. The ref didn't do anything about it. So Tyson got really dazed and confused, and finally, he just snapped and bit his ear.
What happened here? Evander Holyfield, look out, he's pushed right here. Oh my goodness, he's got a bloody right ear. Holyfield bit by a dirty Mike Tyson. Well, first he had a parachute drop.
To say when the budding occurred, and I thought I might lose because of a severity of a cut above my eye, I just snapped.
So we go back in, then all of a sudden,
he bit him again. He bit him again.
You bit this ear.
I was frustrated. I was mad. I was blooded. I was bleeding. And I was a little dizzy, and I thought they were going to stop the fight, and I believed they was doing it intentionally. He butted me in the first round, but then he butted me again in the second round, and he kept going down and coming up, and he charged into me. And no one warned him, no one took any points for him. What am I to do? This is my career. I can't continue getting butted like that, regardless of what I did. He butted me for 2 fights.
But you got to address it, Mike. Why did you bite it?
No, I did address it. I addressed it in the ring. Look at me. Look at me. I got to go home, and my kids are going to be scared of me. Look at me, man.
Mike received a 16-month ban from boxing, but his time away was anything but quiet. He became embroiled in a major dispute with his promoter, Don King.
A friend informed me that most of my money was missing. The money that that was supposed to be there wasn't there, and we had to do something about it.
Hey Don, why'd you rob Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali?
Because I loved them. I loved them, and I thought it was just so nice that they would give me an opportunity for me to make them rich so that I could rob them, because they were poor when they came to me, and there wasn't nothing to rob.
I was bitter towards boxing, so I really didn't care anymore. It really hurt nobody but myself, but I was really bitter towards fighting. I lost the desire to be champion. I wasn't interested in being champion anymore. I was thinking about getting some money.
Mike was only fighting for the money, and in his last 10 bouts, he saw both wins and losses, but showed little concern for the outcomes. His focus had shifted from glory and titles to simply collecting paychecks as his passion for the sport faded.
Combination of
Mike Tyson's glory days was over, and his last fight against Kevin McBride saw him defeated, exhausted, and giving his final farewell.
Oh, has Iron Mike turned into Mellow Planet?
The reason I fought Kevin McBride was just for a payday. It was just a whole mindset I had. I didn't really care.
15 seconds left of the 6th round. McBride just pushing Tyson down, and he's having difficulty getting up. Tyson totally disorganized. It's over, Al. It's over. Mike Tyson quits on his stool. He's not coming out for the 7th round. It's all over.
When you retired in the ring, that was the most honest retirement speech I've ever heard a boxer give ever. He's just like,
I don't think I have it anymore because I got the ability to stay in shape, but I don't got the fighting guts, I don't think, anymore.
When did you know that you didn't want to do it anymore?
I've known years before that, probably around, what, the 2000 area.
I don't have that ferocity. I'm not an animal anymore.
Does that mean we won't see you fight again?
Yeah, that's most likely. I'm not going to fight again. You know, I'm just being honest. I'm not taking nothing away from Kevin. I don't love this no more.
I'm just tired of fighting. Boxing has no place in my heart anymore.